with Mason, and welcome to the 2023 harvest season.
Yep.
You informed me that the peas are already done.
Yeah, the peas are already done. Took them off in a lot of mud, a lot of tracks. Looked like we were rice harvesters over all the water in the puddles.
And now?
And now it's dry right now. The barley's coming off at about 14% moisture. Not at our ideal yield, but we're not making tracks and it's going smoothly, so can't complain too much.
And remind me, the moisture at 14, is that needing drying or not?
Not necessarily needing drying. The malt people like it better at 13.5, and we've kind of been bouncing with our moisture around that 13.5 area. So if they do want it any lower, we'll just turn the fans on in the bins and bring it down to that 13.5 moisture. So we won't need to send it through the dryer or anything. But overall, right now it's coming off at dry for barley.
And it's a new variety this year. Is it a malt barley?
Yeah. This is our malt barley. All we have is malt barley. So we had a Metcalf variety for the past 5 or 6 years, and now we're switching it up to Fraser because the maltsters are preferring the Fraser variety over the Metcalf in these coming years. So in order to keep growing malt, we have to change up our variety, and that's going to be Fraser for the next year.
Yesterday there was a side-by-side in the field. Nola was in it, and he was going and he was taking samples. Was that to measure loss, or was he calibrating the loss monitors, or what was he doing?
We actually run the Bushel Plus loss system. So we throw a pan underneath the combine, and with the Bushel Plus app, you get you select the pan you're using, and they have a fan that cleans out whatever was collected in that loss that was in that pan that was thrown behind the combine, and the fan blows out all the debris, and then you can weigh the seeds left in that pan after, and that'll give you your bushels per acre loss. So yesterday we were trying to set the combines up for barley, and it's also a new variety, so it's different thrashing than the Metcalf a little bit. We had some tweaks, but there's yearly tweaks and different tweaks with the yields, but just making sure everything went smoothly, and took us a while to get set, but we're pretty happy and content with our losses right now after throwing pans last night, and we also threw some for a couple hours this morning.
And are you calibrating? Is there a loss monitor on here as well?
Yeah, so right in these harvest settings, there's the loss monitor. So there's your performance target, and that's basically, it uses the acoustic sounds in the combine to measure the bouncing grain. So
we were on this malt used for beer discussion, and you said that Metcalf has been the variety that's been used historically for about 20 years.
There's Copeland and Metcalf. Those are kind of I don't know how you would say it, but those have kind of been like the old boys for a while, always around, and then they're starting to get phased out now, and we kind of got let known by the people who were buying our malt that next year, if we grow Metcalf, it would only be sold as feed, and we couldn't sell it for malt.
And interestingly, you told me that even the local brewery, Peace River Brewing, has used
they have in the past. Yeah,
they bought a small amount, and they
yeah, exactly, a small amount, and then they did some brewing with that. And
so I should stop by and see Medri and Tyrell and have a little discussion, see how it's working for them.
Yeah, ask them if they're happy or sad that the Metcalf's going out the door. But we're not too sure with the rains we've got. When the barley was fairly mature, we had about 2 weeks of rains. So there's some sprouting that happens. It's called chitting in malt barley, and then it messes with the brewing process. And it basically is just when the seed germinates while it's still standing in the field, and then the malts maltsters can't use that, and we're scared that that's what's happened with our barley. So we're sending it off for the malting test, and if it comes back with that it's highly chitted past their standards, then we'll end up having to sell it for feed.
And is that half price? Even worse?
No, it's actually, so barley right now, we pre-contracted our barley, and so for example, if you had if a malt is just an extra $1 a bushel, so say the price for feed was $6, and you sold it as feed, and it comes back and you actually did make malt, so instead of getting $6, you'd have $7.
These two boys, Zachary and Sebastien, they're doing the waiting game here. Waiting for the truck to fill up. So 3 trucks, 2 truck drivers?
2 trucks, 2 truck drivers.
2 truck drivers, okay.
Just doing it.
They're waiting or just doing it?
Just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah.
If the yield was any more, then you would have to.
Oh, we'd be 3 trucks, even
sure.
with 3 drivers if we had to. In the past, we've had to.
T'es gêné comme ton père, ton grand-père, quoi?
Non,
Mais c'est quoi ton nom de bord?
c'est le sien.
What's it got dedans? Là, t'es caché.
Tu es allé te cacher. Oh, tu vas...
Zachary, non. Zachary.
Zachary va aller se cacher. C'est quoi? C'est Sébastien? Oui, hein? Et Alex.
Wait,
How's it going today?
good.
We're actually going to get your face on camera
I guess
on
so.
the channel? Or are you going to ixnay it when it's time to... We're doing this one on beer.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, the discussion was on malt with the...
It's not making malt
Basic.
beer.
Probably not. No.
Oui, là, il est rempli le truck.
Tu bois-tu de la bière, Sébastien?
Non.
Pas encore.
Toi, Zachary? Toi, Alexandre?
Des fois.
The Peace River Brewery?
Oui.
Yeah. C'est quoi la favorite? Ta
L'IPA.
IPA? Yeah.
Taste.
Tasty
pink.
Alcoholic.
Qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
T'as tasté un alcoholic?
On.
Unalcoholic, c'est vrai.
Rain in the forecast? We don't know. No? Should be good now?
Should be good, hopefully.
And everything should follow? Will there be any waiting or everything should be ready?
Everything should be ready.
Okay.
Once we're done barley, hopefully jump into wheat, and then some canola will be ready too.
And that's usually from start to finish with the 3 combines, that's 5 to 6 weeks?
If everything goes well.
If everything-
It's never happened, but yeah, if everything would go well, it'd be probably a month and a half, yeah, 6 weeks.
Okay, pretty quick.
Yeah, but
That Peace River Brewing, after talking to Mason and Alex about their barley being used for malt here for brewing, I'm with Tyrell.
Hey guys,
How's it going?
pretty good, pretty good.
So you use barley for what you do?
We do use a lot of barley out here on the brewery. Almost, I'd say 80% or more of the grain that comes through the brewery is all barley. We do use a bit of red spring wheat and then some other things as well, but most of those will be imported. Most, like I said, 80% or more of the grains that we do use are grown here in Alberta, either coming off of farms down in southern Alberta or going through one of the malt houses down in southern Alberta. Of course, they're buying everything from up here in the north, shipping it down, hauling it all the way back up again. So, but yeah, that's what most of our grain is, local and coming out of the fields here in Alberta. So, very
Excellent.
cool.
Alex says his favorite beer is the IPA. Pink.
Taste Pink IPA, you betcha. Yeah, no, that's been one of the huge favorites. We started brewing that almost like 6 months after we opened. It was beer. Everyone was always dying for an IPA, right? And it was something we came up with, and it's more of like it's a citrusy flavored. So that's where the Taste Pink comes from. It comes from the the citrus notes, grapefruity tasting beer. And of course, it's a little bit higher in ABV at 6%, so everyone gets a little bit of a bonus out of it too. So that's a fun beer.
And now you've been at your new location here for
Yes.
2 months, 6 months? or
Yeah,
so?
yeah, a little over 6 months. We moved in back in January, and we've been slowly just kind of working on moving in. We're mostly, for the most part, settled in now. We've got always more projects to work on, but yeah, today was like a big day of packaging, and I got another brew day yesterday, another brew day here again tomorrow. and then again on Saturday as well. So it's going to be
The brewing's right here.
right here. You betcha. Right here on the site, we've got a dozen or so fermenters, different sizes, and bright tanks, so storage tanks, and lager tanks. So depending on what kind of beer we're using, or what kind of beer we're making, that'll end up going through one of these tanks. So we've got a couple of these style fermenters. This is what we brew in, these. And then we've also got all these tanks on these side. This is our fermentation and lagering here, just to the left. So lagering and then fermentation towards the back.
What's the extra step in lagering?
So lagering is just the process of storage. That's basically what it is. So you're producing a beer and then ferments at a very slow rate over time. So we've got like our boat launch cerveza. That's a lager that we do. We've done other lagers in the past, but that's our best seller. That's our primary things. We sell a pile of that, especially summertime. Everyone's looking for a nice quenching beer. And so we'll put those in, and it takes a little over a month to fully ferment through. And then we'll give it even more time, another couple weeks to a month on top of that to finish up and settle out, and it comes out crystal clear. So out of the tank.
Boat launch, because you're a lot that you're going to boat launch, but on the boat, right?
That's right. That's right. Don't be consuming on deck. So.
Well, thanks for letting me barge in.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
And now we know where the barley's going from this crop we were just at.
There you go.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.